What was interesting, there's a guy that I interviewed in Salt Lake, and they did find giant bones. He was a building inspector. And they did find giant bones in an excavation for a building. And immediately the powers that be came in, shut the site down, cordoned it all off, and extracted the material, gone forever.
Yeah. So damn smoking man, working with the men in black, just came in and just covered up. They covered it all up. It's a big cover up because giants existing would be bad for the powers that be, I guess. There's no way to explain that in any way other than that the Bible's got to be true. And of course, everybody knows the Illuminati is trying to cover that up all the time. So we're going to get into it. I'm Brentley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. So this is this guy named L.A. Marzulli, which is just a fun name to say, just in general, I'd argue. L.A. Marzulli. I like it. It's just fun. It kind of sounds like it's a dish, an Italian dish of some sort, maybe some kind of noodle. I don't know. But I like it. I like saying it. So, and this guy's hilarious. He is all about everything. He reminds me of me. He reminds me of exactly how I used to think about everything. Everything's true until proven otherwise, which is never. So everything's just true. And that was exactly the way I thought. If there was somebody I liked and they were like, hey, this thing's true. And I was like, I like that guy, must be true. Okay. And that was it. That was my epistemology. It was like, do I like the person that said it? Then it's true. That's it. That's all you need. So since then I've kind of updated my epistemology a little bit, and now I come to conclusions based off of evidence, and it's not about loyalty to people or to ideologies, right? It's just about what's the evidence. Do we have reason to think a thing? If not, then don't need to think the thing, right? I don't need evidence of absence because that doesn't really make sense. I'm just not convinced of anything that doesn't have positive evidence for its existence. So, so it's basically the opposite of how I used to think. But anyway, this guy's hilarious. We're going to get into it. Let's check it out.
It's always the eyes, because the eyes are the window to the soul.
So let's talk about these out of place artifacts, and specifically how that, because whenever you were talking about that earlier, it made me think of the Mormons' belief, because they believe that the Nephi and his sons got in a boat during one of the probably, I think it's the Babylonian captivity or the Babylonian exile, and then they got in a boat somewhere around Tel Aviv and then took off west and then came to the Americas and started populating the Americas there.
Right. But because they believe that the promised land is in America, right? That's like the Mormon thing, whatever.
So there's the Book of Mormon talks about different cities and things like that, which haven't been found in archaeology. But
you pronounced it wrong. It's archaeology.
There's definitely some Nephilim things that bring
you mispronounced. It's Nephilim.
Bring that into question.
Remember, it's first of all, it's a talking salamander who's talking to Joseph Smith. So
what?
Is it Moroni?
What is that? I'm not Mormon. I wasn't Mormon. Ever. He talked to a salamander. I mean, that's how the other book begins, right? The lady talking to a serpent of some sort. So I guess it's on track with everything else when he's talking to a salamander, a very bright white salamander, and they seem like they're cute, right? If there was a salamander that would talk to me, I would trust it. I mean, it's a cute little face, Have you ever seen a salamander? They're adorable.
Isn't that interesting? And I believe he was an open channel. It's another gospel. It's a false gospel.
Oh,
with all due respect to Mormons out there, it's not the gospel that we know.
I love that. He's like, it's another gospel, a false gospel. With all due respect to the people that believe the stupid false thing, but it is a false gospel. So just saying, but I do respect you idiots that believe the wrong thing. Assholes, great. Where you been, man? How we doing? Said Punkster is an English teacher now. Goddamn right. I can pronounce all the words. Okay, I have the best words. I have the best words.
And it's a completely different deal. And mixed in with that are some half truths. So the Nephites are the Nephilim,
Right.
and they did come over.
And they both start with N-E sound. So gotta be the same. Gotta be the same. That's how I like how they show them here. Look at the things like it's like this is how they built the stuffs, okay? Because they had giants helping them, you know, just like that Noah movie, remember? And the giants were the rock monsters. Yeah, they were the rock monsters, and that's why nobody could find them, right? That's why they can't find giant bones because they're just rocks. It's a perfect explanation. It's like, I love it. But no, they don't go with the rock monster interpretation here. So it's disappointing, I know. They go with giant fucking humans that just picking up huge rocks and helping all these little peoples make stuff, right? Because that's exactly what a giant thing would do. It would totally listen and obey the tiny little person that's telling them, "Can you build a thing for me? Because I need."
So that's
What is this, fucking Jon Snow? No, get out of here. And 1-1, no.
partially true. The late Russ Dizdar and I were given a heads up by this woman who lived in Salt Lake City, and we flew in because she said she could show us where the sarcophagi of the Nephilim were.
The sarcophagi?
We flew in.
The guy with the bad cough. That's what that is. It's just a shorthand for a guy he's a smoker. He's just a heavy smoker, and they call him the sarcoph guy. He just did sarcoph guy. That's it.
And when we got there, we were being watched.
Oh.
We were immediately met by a higher up in the Mormon church who took us in Salt Lake City, the Grand Poobah building.
Really?
We were up at the top.
It's Pooh Bear, and that's a character. This guy just doesn't say any words right. I don't know what his problem is. Okay, it's Pooh Bear, and he's a character from a Disney. Anyway, it's
floor looking at all of Salt Lake. What was interesting, there's a guy that I interviewed in Salt Lake, and they did find giant bones. He was a building inspector.
He did. They found him. Okay.
And they did find giant bones in,
of course,
an excavation for a building. And
you know, there's no actual evidence of that. But he said he was like, I saw something that was like in the shape of bones. So then they came and took it.
Immediately, the powers that be came in, shut the site down, cordoned it all off, and extracted the material. Gone forever. So stuff. Yeah. And what we've heard that
it's too bad. It's too bad when they come in and just do all that stuff and it's gone forever. It's nowhere.
Over and over and over again.
Almost as if it never existed.
From
sad.
The 19th century to the 20th century. Did they get them all? No, we didn't get them all. That's why we're on the trail. And there are still artifacts that pop up from.
Did they get all of the giant skeletons? That's what I think he's saying. He said, no, they didn't get them all. That's why I'm on it. That's what this whole series is called. On the trail of the Nephilim. He didn't say that in the beginning this time for some reason. I don't know why.
From time to time.
But so this guy also believes in aliens. He also he believes all the claims of aliens, but then he like reinterprets all of it to be like Bible stuff too. But in very odd with very odd interpretations of everything. It's really funny because I don't think like most of the people like the Michael Knowles or whatever, they always talk about how the aliens are actually demons, right? And I'd have to go back and check, but I thought he had a much more interesting interpretation than that one, that it's like, people have the experiences, but that's because they're talking to demons. I don't think it was that simple. I think he had like a much more elaborate, insane interpretation.
So it's a complex issue.
It's complex.
Are the Nephites the remnants of a Nephilim? Could be. Mixing half-truths in there.
What?
Makes sense.
I thought you just said they were, dude. See, look at this one. Nephilim in Gaza. Chaos in the Middle East explained. Really, man? Really? So you just that just feels really I don't know. It just feels disrespectful to me. But these people are like literally dying, and you're like, that's because of the giants that I totes believe in. Oh my God! Come on, man! Come on, man!
You know, I mean, it makes sense because I believe
Don't say makes sense. Don't use those words.
there was a diaspora of Nephilim tribes.
Diasporoma. What?
When Joshua and Caleb did push the conquest of Canaan, they realized they were getting their butts kicked.
And that also doesn't have any diaspora. It has to do with different culture. Never mind. You know
And
what? Forget
look, we know from Procopius,
I don't know why I'm
the
trying to help
Roman
this guy.
historian, that when there was a stele, a stone, basically signpost erected.
It's a style stele. What are you doing, man? Just say words right.
We are they who
All
fled
right,
from
I'm
the
done.
face
I'm with that joke.
of Joshua, the son of Nun, the robber. Joshua the robber, the son of Nun. We are they who fled from the face of Joshua, the robber, the son of Nun. What's that doing on the North Shore of Africa? Why is it there? And who's fleeing? Why are they fleeing? So you're fleeing from where? Israel, the Levant. That's where you're fleeing from. And you mentioned Joshua, the son of Nun, specifically by name. That stele is no longer there. Procopius wrote that. And that was on the North Shores of Africa. And historians do know that. There was a diaspora of Nephilim tribes that went throughout the Mediterranean to escape. And they island hop. You can go there. You can go to Malta and see it for yourself. You can go to Gozo and see the remains.
And if you want to go something serious, go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley, and check out to get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Gozo sounded sexual. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley. That's BRENTLY at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. It's 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. But yeah, it's go get your butt some Gozos. You know what I mean? Goes so crazy on your butt, right? Get your butt some stuff and stuff your butt. That's right. Okay. I love that little ending line. That's my favorite now. Also, if you want to like and subscribe, that'd be great. I'd appreciate if you like what we do here, which is just kind of have fun watching really silly people act very serious about the silly things they believe. Yeah, it's a good time for all. I argue all except for this people that believe silly things. They tend to get kind of irritated with what I do for some reason. I don't know, just having fun here. Okay, but they get upset. So but let's take a look. Who won today? How's everybody doing? Is everybody okay? Let's see. Top tester. Wow, top was at the top. Wait a second, what's going on here? Okay, well, top did win. All right, but it looks like it must have been at the exact same second because we got 2 people. Kelly was like, "I'm first," and top is like, "No, I'm first." And it must have come in at exactly the same second because these both have the same timestamp. So good job. Like photo first, finished for wow, that's impressive. And then James, we'll just say both y'all were set first this time. Okay, I'm just gonna since it's the same minute, I'm just gonna give it to both y'all. Okay, and then James was second, which is I don't know how both y'all beat James when James is typically just kicking the door down to get in here, be first. And yeah, and so James said, "Crappy Monday morning just got better." It's it's Tuesday, right? I'm like, is it just Monday? Fuck, what the hell? I'm confused. I thought it was Tuesday, but I guess I don't know stuff. Well, let's see. But cool, hell yeah! I'm glad it's better for me too when I do this. So I totally agree. Love hanging out. And he said, hello, hope all are well, and we are. And then I want to say Asho was third, right? So, and that was the English teacher one. So it's in, and Michael said they're late. They were late. They just came in after everybody. We're all sitting down and doing the trust circle, sitting around with their crisscross applesauce. Don't say the other kind. Okay, it's not that anymore. It's crisscross applesauce. All right. And then they came in late. And then Michael comes in. We're like, all right, we're all already in a trust circle, but I guess we can make room. Everybody back up so we can make more room for Michael, since he just come in late like this. It's ridiculous. Was listening, Matt. Oh, Michael said, was listening to Matt on Seth's show. Oh, no shit. Oh man, I haven't been listening to my podcast lately because I've been on a different schedule doing different work, and so I've sort of been all over the place lately. But okay, yeah, I'm gonna check. I'll have to check that out. That should be interesting. Always enjoy them two together. They're like two of the unholy trinities, right? Or two of the three that make up the unholy trinity, right? Because of that one tour that one time, and that's what we call them forever, just like the Four Horsemen. Except the Four Horsemen like called themselves that. Is that weird to anybody else? Like, like we should call ourselves the Four Horsemen of New Atheism. This would be totes cool. And then it's like kids, talking about a punk band or something. We should call ourselves the blah 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 blah. And they all high five each other. Yeah. And then they start drawing it on all their trapper keepers. Their symbol, like Four Horsemen, and they got like a cool symbol. It's like four horses' heads, like all layered. I don't know. It's like a whole symbol thing. Anyway, that's where my mind goes when it comes to that shit. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. Hey, Robin, how we doing? Robin made it too. Very cool. Let's see here. Michael said, "Oh, did you hear the Christians were mad at the latest Noah movie? They said it wasn't real enough." Yeah, I remember that. That was part of wait, the latest one. What's not the one that the one guy that with the crow or whatever, not that one, but another newer one. But I remember being mad. I was mad, or I was supposed to be mad at the one with Russell Crowe because it was just so unbiblical, right? That was my family was really upset. They're like, you were not allowed to go see that movie because they didn't do it the super boring way that the Bible did. So not allowed to see it. But I had to sneak. Actually, I don't know. I don't think I just remember people talking about it being bad. I don't think I had to sneak to see it. I was a grown up by then, I think. Hey, so I was a new member. Cool. You weren't a member already? All right. Well, I totally thought you were. But all right. Awesome. Thank you. Glad to have you. And what the fuck? How do you say that? Three aboard ratched? I have no idea how to say that. I like that font though. That's pretty cool. And you got the pentagrams on either side. That's badass, dude. Just kudos on just that the whole font and everything there. I like that. So get them all like Pokemon. Yeah, the bones of the Nephilim. Yeah, that's like they're about as existent as the Pokemons. So yeah, it's kind of Jesus. I said, thought I already had a membership. Yeah, me too. What the fuck? So I was kind of confused. Do they do memberships that just like only last like a week or something? I don't understand, because I would think that it would be for the whole month. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure out how this shit works. We've only been monetized for like a month, so it's kind of still figuring stuff out here. And Nitty's here. What's up, Nitty? How we doing? I love the idea that God made beings that, for whatever reason, also have the equipment to impregnate humans. Hashtag intelligent design. Yeah, I know, right? Like they're like spiritual beings, right? Like you can't see them with your physical eyes, but they can impregnate people. What the? How does that work, right? And I feel like that's a porn, right? That's a porn. That's some kind of porn, right? Um, like a demon sex porn. That's so funny. Oh, and I do want to say real quick, I give a shout out to our latest member of the Ray Comfort but banana level, which is Logan. So hey, thanks Logan. I really appreciate that, man. That's awesome. Hell yeah. No, he's not. Stop. Just no. You're saying that is wrong. Okay, Tiny, you're wrong. I mean, check your sourcing on that. Okay, because I don't think. I'm just kidding. I don't know how it's pronounced. I was just joking, but I thought it had to do with something. Never mind. I'm not going to go into the like what I thought that meant. a diaspora. Wolfo said, Wolfo just said it had banana honk, which is arguably the coolest of the emojis. I'm just saying, of the special emojis that you get if you are a member. But anyway, let's see what else we got. And Andrew's here. Hey, Andrew. Let's see. And we got another one. Another new person here. I want a custom made sword with a handle and scabbard made of giant Nephilim bones. Well, that would be hard to lift, I'd imagine, right? That would be like one of those Final Fantasy swords or something like that, right? It's like that dude got like the sword that's way too big. It looks ridiculous. Okay, that is the most unrealistic sword I've ever seen in my life. But nobody seems to care about that for some reason. I don't know why. I don't ever see that in the comment threads about like Final Fantasy. Like, but the sword's unrealistic, though, so I'm not playing this game. And I'm like, because I'd be right there with those people, but they don't exist apparently. Let's see. Nitty said, I watched the Demon S3X movie for the plot. I have no what? Demon S3X. Oh, is that the pornography? The demon pornography that's clearly being referenced? And Ember made it. Hey, all right. Everybody's here. All right, we're good. We can start now. We can go. It's okay.
Sardinia. Oh my gosh. Stronghold. And then Majorca, and then Menga, Spain, and then into Portugal, and up you go into Karnak, France. 80,000 standing stones. And the stones, some of these things are as big as a garage door or bigger. I filmed there. We've never done anything with the film. So what else is?
And that's why he was showing. Is that why he was showing the picture of the giants setting the stones? Because there's no possible way you could not get all of these stones to stand up with anything other than 50-foot giants or whatever, right? It's impossible.
It drives me nuts how much material we have that we can't get to. It's unbelievable. And then from there they go
so much material we can't get to, then you don't have it, dude. Like there's so much material that we don't have access to that we have. What? That's
go into England and over to Ireland, and then you can island hop essentially right into the New World. The copper mines in Michigan, all that copper, where did all that go? That came in to the Bronze Age, thousands of years ago. That's where bronze was made from.
What the hell? I don't know what he's. It was because the giants ate it. Do they eat copper? Well, I don't understand what his question is.
Took copper from a New World, tin from England. You got bronze just like that. And that's the Bronze Age. That's where we get the Nephilim lance, that 3-foot long lance that was found by Bob Shelley in the middle of nowhere in Michigan at an abandoned campsite. It weighed 28 pounds. That's the same weight as Ishti Benab's spearhead, 28 pounds. There it is. What's that doing there? When we saw it, we thought it was a sword.
I don't understand. So they found some thing and it's heavy. So it has to belong to a giant. Is that what we're doing? That's
not a sword. It's a lance. And that lance is exactly what the giants used in the Americas to go through the Braves, the Native Americans. They would go in, according to Chief Joseph, that lance could pass through 3 Native American Braves. And they would just they would pop the heads off and drink it like a Coke.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And awesome. What are you talking about? That's awesome. That was really cool. I'd actually just love to see it. Just drinking brains out of a skull. Just pop the tab like. Okay, man. Jeez Louise. Okay, so and that part I do know what he's talking about. So like, there's Native American legends that talk about giants, but they've been corrupted. Like I did a whole video on it, and it was the same guy that I was covering. But the Skeptoid podcast helped out a big, quite a deal, because I went and looked at their evaluation of the evidence that this guy finds so compelling, and there were legends of giants within the tribes or whatever. But every single time they excavated that area, they found a bunch of remains. Nobody reported anybody being a giant. So it was over and over and over again. But still somehow they managed to say that there were giants that were excavated out of that, just because that tribe had that legend, and so they, they just put it together and then just said that they had found giant bones when they had not. But there's a whole, like I said, there's a whole video of it up on on the members. If you're a member, check out the Giants video. It's a lot of fun.
Totally disgusting. And that's what the American, Native Americans talk about this. It's in their oral tradition. Chief Joseph is on the record in our films. Before I go, because we have time, but people need to start doing their homework. These shows are great and there's a lot of information, but we've got 30 films in our stable. There are 13 and a half books that you can read. Obviously, we're scratching the surface.
That's it. There's 13. You got to do your homework, okay, and read all 13 books. That's just those 13. That's all you really need to do. And that's all the homework you could ever dream of. Okay.
People need to start doing their homework. Get the films, get the books, do your homework, because we're just
basically just buy my stuff, just watch all the video, just get all my stuff, please.
Scratching the surface in some ways.
That's like code for do your homework.
Done some deep dives, but my gosh, the books and the films. I mean, there's 40 hours worth.
And if you want a deep dive, just go to adamandeve.com. You can have something deep diving, and just go to adamandeve.com, enter code Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Let's go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley. It's BRENTLY at checkout. Get your butt some stuff and stuff your butt. All right. That is
the films there. 40 hours worth. Do your homework, folks.
And those films are definitely in depth and are going to show you things that you've definitely not thought of before, or you'll start realizing that there's definitely things that are being covered up or obfuscated from the world, from our society today.
I wonder if this guy doesn't believe the stuff that this guy's saying, because he doesn't seem to. He just brought up the word obfuscate. He seems to be doing some obfuscate. He's not seems like he's not just like, yes, everything you're saying is absolutely true. Yes, you are true. Like you are correct. Yes.
And so it's all about the narrative and what, if you can make God out to be this evil being that's looking for judgment, and rather than, that's why.
You don't have to make him out to be like that. You just got to read the Old Testament, and then your job kind of takes care of itself. There, you don't have to do anything.
Certain groups were just wiped out, but once you understand that there was, these were seed that could not be redeemed, unredeemable seed.
That's where they're from, and they're soulless. What? They're not human.
Oh,
they're part human, but they're soulless. Only God can give you a soul.
It's basically like. Only God can give you a soul. That's how I know. And God clearly couldn't give the giants a soul, because they were just a product of spiritual evolution with human evolution just mixing together because of the women having sex with the demons. Okay, dude. I don't even know. I don't even know what to do with this, right? I mean, it's just all over the place. Wolfo said, so what's up, dude? Nope, lived in Michigan. The copper mines have been there longer than the Great Lakes have been. They weren't always mines, but the copper was formed long before the glacial slides that made the lakes. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's crazy that are you sure? Because this guy's clearly, he knows his stuff. The guy looking for the giants. So you sure you know about that stuff? Oh my God, that's crazy. Nitty said, what documentation does he have for mass impalement? Mass impalements? What, like a bunch of people being impaled? Well, the Dracula story, of course. He was the impaler, right? And does, I think, play into this somehow. I can't remember why, but I feel like I remember him mentioning Vlad somehow. It's all connected, dude. Like this guy, okay? He's weaving a fucking yarn that's the size of Cleveland, Let's see, Humber said, but were there normal height people in the ages when malnutrition made the average person 3'9"? because a 6-foot person looks giant if you're hobbit height. And that is a good point, because and that was some of the things that people were saying about that Lovelock cave, which is what he's talking about, where they claimed to have found giant bones. And it's makes a lot of sense that, like, and I think they were like between 5 and 6 feet, but of course the legends made them 8 to 12 or something like that, right? Because that's what legends do. They always expand, right? They always the fish always gets bigger, right? It's like that Tim Burton movie, right? So, and they did find like skeletons that size, and I think that the other skeletons of the actual tribe were generally shorter, right? So it sounds like it could just be Vikings or something that they defeated or something, that the Vikings stopped off. I don't know enough about any of this to be able to say for sure, but it sounds like, Vikings showed up, they fought them off, killed the Vikings left, and then they stored that as a legend or whatever. I don't know though. It's, all this stuff is, I know they're not actual giants. Let me just put it that way. And definitely not actual giants because women had sex with demons. That's where you lose me. You lose me at the demon sex, as much as I'd love to believe in demon sex for just obvious reasons, right? I can't do that. But,
yeah. And they're looking for a soul. How many times have I heard that from abductees?
What?
They're looking for a soul. Wow. So that's
just like how zombies are looking for brains, right? It's basically the same thing. It could suck that soul out, like those. What character does that? It's like a Marvel character sucks your soul out. I can't remember which one. Wolfo said, 40 hours worth. Holy moly! I know my own. I now own a place. Oh, I now own a place you can go and spend 4 to 12 years and not take it all the info there. We call it college, and there are a multitude of people who know what real evidence is. Yeah, this guy. It's not this guy. That's for goddamn sure. That's his problem right there. Is he doesn't understand what independently like independently verifiable evidence is, right? Because he seems to only think that the only people that will actually look at the evidence are the people that, quote unquote, don't have a bias toward the, quote unquote, Darwinian paradigm, right? So, in other words, anybody that acknowledges the study of evolution, they don't count. They don't count. They can't figure out what evidence is, okay? Because they believe the Darwinian paradigm, right? So that's so you basically are just like, okay, so no scientists, no experts are going to be anything that you're going to ever listen to, right? You're only going to listen to pseudoscience, religious extremists that are young Earth creationists and shit. That's it. Those are the only people you think count. It's funny because that just gets rid of all the problem. Like, I get to keep thinking my stupid stuff now, as long as I throw out all of the words of the actual experts and just say they got a bias and they don't ever want to listen, right? Jesus, so stupid. Let's see. Michael said had an argument with a nephew who had YouTube proof of Noah's Ark. The YouTube kind of proof. That is a kind of proof that is utilized a lot by these people, it seems, right? I had somebody give me YouTube proof for ghosts too, right? And you know what the evidence was? People saying on YouTube that they saw ghosts. It's like, okay, this is wildly unconvincing, but okay. But thank you for reaching out. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's funny. There's no way to fake, no way to like fake a Noah's Ark thing or whatever. I mean, and half the time they're just running around that area and looking for any kind of square rock. And like, that's it. There, see, it's a square. It's a boat. That looks like a boat. Like, and then if you look at it, squint your eyes and really think about it. That's a boat. It's a boat. And no, it's not. No, it's just a rock. Okay, just several rocks. A lot of times. Um, Amber said, if they aren't from God, where did they come from? What creator of life is more powerful than his God? That's what I'm telling you, man. When that sort of thing happens, it's like this run amok. Like it's like once the free will thing happens, it's over, right? God's just kind of he tied his hands, and it's over. Now the free will is doing everything, right? Including the free will of demons to interact with the free will of the women's, right? And then that creates creatures that don't have souls. Apparently, I don't know. Gotta have two humans to make souls, I guess. I don't. That's the recipe, I guess. I have no idea. And then he said, "What is the difference between animals, demons, angels on this Christian view?" Fuck if I know. I don't think. Is there a difference? I think they're all of it. All of it, or is all of it? It's not. There's no differences. What do you mean? Steven, what's up, dude? Hello everyone. I'm half an hour late, but I'm here, and that's all that matters. Okay, that's all that matters. You made it. I hate missing out. I know. I do too. So we call that FOMO, which does not sound like what it represents, but that's the word that people say. But yeah, now me too. I don't like missing out on stuff unless it gets in the way of sleep. Then I'm fine with it. Michael said, "Yeah, yo, Ming Chinese. What is it? Ming Chinese basketball player. Proof of giants." Yeah. Oh, yeah, Ming. Yeah. Kind of. I mean, I'd take that as actual evidence. Except they're basically saying that guy doesn't have a soul. He's too big to have a soul. And once you get over a certain height, you no longer the soul just because you can't stretch that far, and then it just dies. Just dies. Right? It's too much body, not enough soul. Let's see. Lord Dissident said, flat Earth, Bigfoot, aliens, and demons. They must all be related somehow. Dude, that's this guy. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. Like you're saying that like it's a joke. This guy literally was saying stuff about Bigfoot the other day as if it fell in line with his beliefs about the Bible being true and everything. Not even joking. It's crazy. So funny. But yeah, dude, he just ties everything together. I love it. He's like one of my he's the most credulous person I think I've ever seen on YouTube. Just believe in everything. He's worse than Joe Rogan somehow. That's a bar that I just didn't think was easily cleared. But this guy, he cleared it. He's crystal cleared it, if you know what I mean. Let's see. Lord Dissident said Wolfos owns a college. Must be nice to be Rick. What does Rick have to do with owning a college? Who's Rick? Why would Rick own colleges? I'm so confused with this one, man. I don't know what you're doing here. Okay. And I don't even know if Wolfos said that he owns a college, but obviously it would be a college for wolves. So I don't think we'd be able to attend that college. And I don't think wolves use money. So it's probably free. It's a free college for wolves. Anyway, you're way off, buddy. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Wolfo said it is nice to be Rick. Well, because that's his Christian name, Rick. He's got a good pal named Morty, and hey, Emilio, yo, Emilio, what's up, dude? Let's see. Do you even know the presuppositions of the dating on the rock they found proving old Earth? What? What are you saying? Oh, he's got a little. Emilio's got a little cross going on there. Okay. So I think Emilio is challenging the dating methods. Is that what we're talking about here? Do you even know the presuppositions of the dating on the rock? Are you sure you mean the word presuppositions? Presuppositions are are things that are things that we have to presuppose in order to be able to even have any conversation about what is true or not true, because we're forced to act as if the reality is real, and that the laws of logic are logical without it being circular, right? So you have to presuppose that kind of stuff. I don't know what what you think the word presuppositions means, but in this context, it doesn't make any sense. So, but enlighten me. Let me know what's up. Wolfo said the word was supposed to be of, not own. Okay, well, I don't know. How am I supposed to know that? Okay, but I'd like to own a higher education establishment in the future, but my goals never really reflect reality. I know. Right? I have the same problem. That's why I've got my audition tape for SNL, and they're not. That's like I don't even know who to hand it to. And I don't have an agent. You kind of need stuff in order for that. But anyway, that's a goal. I'm gonna get on there. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. Be the new member, the SNL crew. That would be awesome. I would have a blast doing that. Or some other kind of skit show. Maybe I think you should leave, but I don't think that one's not. I don't know. Anyway, Ember said, "I've seen Ghost. It was a green and hungry, and then Bill Murray shot it with a nuclear ray gun." That's so funny. I literally just watched that last night. Last night I went to sleep to that movie. That's awesome. Wow. It must be because of magic. Because there's no possible way this coincidence could happen without Ember being magic. So must be magic. Wolfo said, Emilio, presuppositions are different from established knowledge, but go right ahead and explain what the dating methods are and where they got it wrong. Yeah, thanks. I was going to say, because I don't think he knows what presuppositions are. But yeah, sorry, whatever. I think they're saying like what things that they have to believe, like what Wolfos just basically said, right? What do you say? Established knowledge. Yeah, that's what I think he thinks it means. Here he said, I do not know how old the Earth is, nor I do claim the age of the Earth, nor does the Bible. Then what are we doing? What were we talking about then? I'm kind of like, okay, so never mind. Is that what I'm getting at here? You're like, so just kidding. I'm out. All right. This is like has nothing to do with anything I care about. Well, then why are you saying them incorrectly? Well, Amelia's like, I know what presuppositions are. No, you don't, man, because you're not using them correctly. I don't. To see how we follow evidence around here, right? And the evidence kind of shows that I don't think you do. I don't know, as if you know. That's funny. Let's see. Wolfo said, then it obviously wasn't directed at you. Okay, everybody, can we all just let's take a breath? Okay, things are getting popping off in the comments now, and I don't know as if I'm just kidding. It's fine. You can yell and scream all you want. I don't care. Drazilla, what's up? You made it. All right. Damn it, I wasn't supposed to be asleep now. Good, I woke up before this is over. Hell yeah. All right, cool. Yep, just got a little bit longer, about 15, 20 minutes. I gotta call it kind of quick today. Sorry. But got a couple things going on. But yeah, no, but you made it. That's the important part. And so did BS, right? BS is just saved by the bell, I guess. No, just a bell, right? Just the notification symbol of some sort. But all right, let's see one more. You are presupposing meaning to words, yet atheism logically leads to nihilism. Sounds like you believe in a delusion. What? How does that doesn't make any sense? Okay, let's actually break this down for a second here. You are presupposing meaning to words, yet atheism leads to what the hell are you talking about? Presupposing meaning to words. Words are descriptive. We describe things. We use words to describe reality so that we can communicate with each other. It's not like words existed before humans could say them. And then you know what I mean? They're not descriptive or prescriptive, they're descriptive. So it doesn't make any sense to say that we're presupposing. We're like, that's just, we're just describing the world around us using words. And then you said that atheism, logical, I don't know what you mean by that. You're saying atheist logic leads to nihilism. No, it doesn't. Like atheism is just the rejection of the claim God exists. That's it. It doesn't have any further further commentary on the meaning of life and existentialism and things like that. Now, I know the thing that it's rejecting does, right? Have that claim anyway, that belief in God comes with intrinsic meaning or whatever, right? So you could say that like leads you to existentialism, but like existentialism is the concept that we're kind of in this battle. If we're looking at like continental philosophy or whatever, like it's like we're in this battle between feeling like we need to have meaning as humans in what seems like a completely meaningless universe. And so it's that sort of thing. But the beauty of that is being able to decide what your meaning is, right? Because the only meaning, the word meaning has to be in the context of a thinking mind, right? It has to mean something to who? What do you mean? Like, what is the meaning of life? Like, to who? Right? Because it has to mean something to someone. Okay. So it's strange. And then you're saying that leads to a delusion. I don't like what delusion. I'm so confused here. Like we could just decide our own meaning because we just acknowledge the fact that we do feel like we need to have meaning, but the universe is seemingly meaningless. And then we can basically ascribe our meaning to be whatever we want it to be. And I actually kind of like absurdism and Albert Camus' take on things, which is another step, I guess, to go through and say that the people that do act like they have meaning, that's absurd. But anyway, the whole thing, yeah. But thanks for commenting. I appreciate the engagement. Hey, look at the trees. What's up, dude? Emilio, how's Charlie Sheen and Lou Diamond Phillips? I don't know what that reference is, but sounds like it's probably funny. And Wolfo said, atheists don't need presuppositions. It's just an answer to a simple question. Yeah, and arguably the easiest question. Does a magical thing that just answers all questions and answers no questions as a result of claiming to answer all questions. Does that exist? And the answer is no. No, not convinced that's true. Okay, because there's just no evidence to support it. And it's just sort of a made up, very human concept to think a thinking brain had to create everything because we have a thinking brain and we create stuff. So we just apply that to the universe, and it's very self-involved. You know, we're not special, okay? That's what I was talking about, the existentialism thing earlier, right? We're not special, you know. We're just we're in like a speck flying through billions of miles, billions of light years. Fuck miles. Like it's just we're a speck. You know? Nothing. It doesn't. Yeah, it's not special. Okay, but let me see here. Wolfo said, do you believe in a god or gods with all the evidence presented to you? Do you believe in a god with all the evidence? That is a good question. I would say, let me see. I think atheism is impossible. Whatever created us, I would call God. Okay, so what if it's, okay, what if not one thing created us, but a bunch of different things that, you know, it's like they act like it's got to be one thing created us. And it's like, dude, that's never the way anything worked. That's like saying that one thing and one thing alone caused World War I. Like it was just the shooting of Franz Ferdinand. There's nothing before that matters. No, it's just that one shot, just that one killing that one dude the one time. That's how World War I started. Right? Nothing else matters. Just that one thing. Obviously, that's never the case. It's like 1.5 billion fucking things like cause stuff to happen, especially like the universe. Are you kidding me? You just want one thing that causes the universe. I don't. To me, that just makes no sense. It's like you're wanting to put it all in a nice little package of one thing, creating everything is just wishful thinking. And I understand why we do it, because it saves a lot of energy up here, right? We're just like, oh, well, where did everything come from? God. Well, why is everything the way that it is? God. Right? Well, why do humans think the way that they do? God. There's a soul, like whatever, it's just like magic. Magic answers that question. So I understand why we do it, but it's still not reasonable, right? But anyway, but I don't understand, like, saying atheism is impossible. How? Oh, is this the impossibility of the nothing creating everything, and that misunderstood, that, that misunderstanding that Ray Comfort just throws around, even though it's been explained to him like 1.5 billion times that that's not what, that you're just begging the question when you say something like that. Either my God created everything, otherwise it's all irrational and crazy and stupid. You just think nothing made all this stuff. So it's either my God did it or stupid things that other people think. So yeah, you think nothing did it. It's like, no, the universe exists for tons of different reasons, and I could not even begin to get into all of them, or even some of them, really, because there's just so much going on there, dude. Al, what's up, dude? Al made it too. The best thing about theists is they never presuppose a god or deity or any of that fucking shit. That's why they are the bestest logicians of a super magician. I know, right? That's it. They don't presuppose those things. Yeah, I know, it's presuppositionalist type shit where they're presupposing stuff that shouldn't ever be presuppositions. It's just acting like you're right already about the thing, and you just don't feel like you should have to defend it. Right? And then they try to act like it's like the laws of logic, and it's like, no, it's not. That's actually circular. But yours is not. You do need to demonstrate why you think what you think, or you need to demonstrate that what you think is at least reasonable, at the very least. Anyway, Luofo said, why call what you believe in God then? Yeah, exactly. Because that's what and why do you think you were created? Yeah, that's exactly my question, because that just seems like you're just making the definition of God so broad and vast that it becomes utterly meaningless. And then that means that you wouldn't be a theist then, right? You would be a deist, right? Because are you trying to tell me, Emilio, that you don't believe in a specific God? You just believe in some vague thing, whatever happened to have caused the universe to come into existence, and that's it. Right? So you're a quantum fluctuationist. Is that what it is? You you believe in quantum fluctuations? Okay, that's the God that you worship. Quantum fluctuations. I don't know. God is just a title. Yeah, but it's of a concept, a very specific concept that it is very specific. It's not just a God. This is why I get so irritated. And this is why, like, in debate, they had to basically create a category that is the God of classical theism, because there's so many different concepts of a God, right? And then, well, that my God doesn't act like that. Well, my God doesn't count for that. Well, my God is different from this. So we had to be like, okay, look, everybody, if we're going to have this debate about just theism versus atheism, we got to have a God of classical theism that just checks the most vague boxes. Okay. And then that will be what that God is. That's what we're debating, right? Because everybody's got like different definitions. It's like nothing else that we debate has like functions like this. Nothing else. There's not this ambiguous like thing, right, that people are arguing over whether it exists or not, that can take so many different shapes. She can just look like what anybody feels like it could look like, whenever they feel like making it look like something, and ask if I believe in it. I'm fucking what? I don't know. What if it's your thing that you're making up? I don't know. Like, you're just deciding this stuff, whatever is the characteristics of a thing that you can't even really describe. And you're asking whether I believe in it? The fuck? I don't know. No, I have no idea what you're even talking about, right? It's just it's funny how this stuff goes, and then they make it so vague. It's just like it's whatever created stuff or whatever caused the universe, because that's what it really ends up. It's not created, because it doesn't look like anything created anything. It was caused by stuff, right? And a bunch of stuff, that we can't even really investigate. So it's almost I mean, we're doing our best here, but it's unreasonable, I'd argue, to come to a conclusion about that with the lack of information that we have at this moment, right? Anyway, okay, so well, the Bible uses God in many senses. So you believe in the Bible? That's what I'm talking about. They always jump from deism, like a theist, but they're actually what they argue as a deist. And it's like, why don't you just argue for the thing you actually believe instead of arguing for the because he's starting negative on the negative side. I think atheism is irrational, right? And then goes like, and so I'll argue from the position of deism, right? And then they aren't a deist. But then they have some specific God that they actually believe in, but they're like, but I can only argue the vague, ambiguous, maybe something created everything. How do we know? And so they just stand there, but then they walk away from the conversation and believe in this very specific God with all these specific characteristics that they think, behaves in a very specific way, that they have no evidence for any of the things that make that specific God reasonable to believe. Anyway. I actually like these kind of episodes where we get somebody that is a theist. I don't get a lot of opportunity to be able to interact with theists and stuff. Working on it, on getting those opportunities. But it's slow going. I said this is the very start of everything. Eternal being. Eternal being. What are you talking about? It is the very start of everything. The eternal being. So there has to be something eternal to start everything. Is that again another thing that you don't have evidence for? Because if your being can be eternal, then why couldn't reality just be eternal? And then the universe within reality is just something that had to begin. If that's even the case, I don't know. I don't know if the universe even necessarily had a beginning, right? But I don't, again, like I don't know. But I would say that reality definitely has always existed, right? But whether the local universe or our cosmos or whatever, whether it had a beginning, that's a different story. And it could just be like I don't know, like universe is starting over or something, or like bubbling up or some like thing that makes universes. And who the fuck knows, right? Like, that's my point. Like, we don't know. We can barely investigate anything here. Okay, we're like talking light years, which is traveling at the speed of light for years, and we can't travel at the speed of light for a millisecond at all. So it's might just remain a mystery forever. Anything. Yeah, I don't, as far as I can tell, nothing is eternal. Well, I mean, maybe the universe, I don't know, or reality, right? Reality or the universe, I guess, could count as possibly being eternal. We don't know. So we don't know if anything could necessarily be eternal or not. Al Truck, hey, what's up, dude? Al said, Emilio, have you considered anything else that's been postulated? Postulated. That's a good question. What if we all come into existence through a convoluted process that seems unlikely, but we have mountains of evidence that back the crazy science boys and grills of years past? Yeah, that's what I think. Honestly, I think it's just a confluence of different things, just the laws of physics that ran into other laws of physics, right? That ran into other laws of physics, and eventually our environment, popped our planet. It, created life or whatever on our planet. Not created life, but life came about on our planet because of all of those confluence of events, right? And the laws of physics and whatnot. And we said, who says there was a start of everything? That sounds like a presupposition. Yeah, exactly. And again, we're like putting things in our human understanding. It's like a human thing to be like, before me, right? There was a before me, right? And so that to me is like something like we put on stuff. Well, there had to be a before this and had to be before that, because that's the way we view things on our tiny little planet. That's, again, just a speck in the cosmos, right? And so what is that? A fallacy of composition? Is that what it's called? Where you act as if the universe would, where you act as if something behaves as if the same way as one of its parts, right? And vice versa, right? So it's that would be what I would argue a fallacy of composition, right? Like you're just acting like things that happen on our planet, the way that we view them, also applies to the entire cosmos. And as it applies to the beginning of that cosmos and before that cosmos, if there is a before, like Stephen Hawking seemed to think there wasn't. But this is all very difficult to pin down as far as evidence goes and stuff. That's why we need to remain very, very skeptical and just follow evidence as it comes, right? Which we are getting a lot more evidence as it comes because of the telescopes and whatnot, giving us the ability to kind of like look into the past and stuff. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's where you follow. You don't just start from the conclusion that some magical thing did it. That's just, there's no point to that. This Drusilla said, so Emilio doesn't know what he believes in, just whatever created us. Yeah, I don't think that's true. I think that he does have a thing that he believes in, but he just can't argue for that specific those specifics. So they go into the vague unknown of something had to make that kind of thing, so that they don't go from an unknown to a known, right? Because that would be an argument from ignorance. Anyway, saying this. So, well, that was just about theism, not my belief in Christianity. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. So we go from this vague notion of some kind of creator God, and I knew it. So you got your little cross there. It's like you want to just argue for like anything that could possibly be defined as a god, right? And that's very vague, right? But then somehow you managed to get from something made us, right? That had to be, I don't know, whatever, and then get all the way to, a God that had to send himself to sacrifice himself to himself in order to convince himself to save the world from himself, right? And think that's all that's logically following from something must have made us. It's like, okay, taking quite a leap here. That's all I'm saying. Wolfo said, I too don't know how we got here, but I sure do hope we keep going forward, taking care of each other without the need to force backward thinking upon the masses to accomplish such things. Yeah, we kind of got to just live as if there isn't a God, whether there is or not, right? Because nobody knows which one it is. If there is any, I don't think there is. But if there was any, we kind of just were forced to live in a universe that seems to not have one, based on evidence, based on like our actual reality that we investigate, right? So it's if you want to think that thing is true, and you want other people to think that thing is true, you need to provide the evidence to cause us to agree with you. But we're not just going to agree with you because you're like, well, where did they come from? Believe my God. I believe my thing. Just do it. Because that's not the way anything works. To Drusilla, by the impossibility of the contrary. Yes. That's not... You're just saying that it's impossible for a God not to exist. How do you know that? How do you know that, man? That doesn't make any sense. I swear, if you move into that ontological crap, I will scream. Okay. Well, isn't the actual thing greater than just a thought of something? Yeah. Well, then it has to exist. That's the ontological argument. It's like the stupidest shit. Sometimes with ontology, I'm just like, is this just an excuse to be stupid and not sound like you are? I mean, done. Some ontologist out there is gonna be, oh, well, fucking, yeah, how dare you? I don't know why they talk like that, but I don't know ontology enough. But it just seems like it's so detached from anything on the ground or like anything practical that it's kind of useless, right? But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess I stay in the realm of epistemology too much for ontological things to make sense to me. But Michael said, Christianity didn't even make the oldest of the 7 oldest written religions. It's not the first with the golden rule, nor the only with a creation myth. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, if we look at like Hinduism, it predates Christianity by a long shot, and they did have a they had a version of the golden rule. I think it was don't do unto others what they would not have done. It was like flipped, right? Am I misremembering that? I thought it was like flipped, where it's like don't treat others the way they wouldn't want to be treated or something, which I think is actually a more superior the golden rule, honestly, is don't, treat other people the way they want to be treated, right? It's a good idea to try to empathize, like treat other people the way you would want to be treated, but you aren't them, so you don't know what they want. So therefore you should just find out how they want to be treated and then treat them that way, right? That to me makes more sense than treat other people the way you want to be treated. If you're somebody that likes being shamed all the time and likes being corrected or whatever, as Christians would say, then you're going to think that you're supposed to do that to other people, and that's just not. Most other people don't believe in your stuff, so they don't need to be corrected. You know what I mean? Anyway. All right, I'm gonna play a couple more minutes of this. I gotta.
So that leads us to another thing that we could talk about probably another time about dealing with abductees. And, you have plenty of people that you've interviewed over the years, but there's a lot of stories of people experiencing interacting with people with
wrong direction, dude. Wrong direction. You're going to
black eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen articles about that recently. What is
throughout this punching everybody? Everybody's just getting punched. It's just a very abusive culture, alien culture, and then just everybody's got black eyes.
That because I know you've talked about that too.
This is conjecture, but it's based on lots and lots and lots of research.
So it's the other stuff that you were talking about is not based on conjecture. It's based off that evidence stuff.
Nobody on this planet has all the answers. I don't have all the answers. I don't. Nobody does. So we know that in the 90s,
like this is a Ray Comfort trick. He just said nobody has all the answers. You know what Ray Comfort? Oh, you don't know that there's not someone with all the answers. How do you know there's not somebody with all the answers? Like, okay, well, I don't have any good reason to think there is anybody with all the answers. That's how you answer that.
People started seeing hybrid entities. They look more alien than they did human. What I mean by that, human women, fallen angels, mixing of the seed.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, Daniel chapter 2:43, their seed will mingle with the seed of men, but they won't.
And if you want to mingle with the seed of men, go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley, and check out to get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Just go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley, that's BRENTLY, and check out to get your exclusive offer. And you got a lot of good stuff. Get your butt some stuff, right? And then stuff your butt. A little bit longer on this one.
Will not cleave to them. The word cleave is exactly the same word we get. A man will leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife. There's no marriage contract here. Daniel, seal up the words in this book until the time of the end. We're in the time of the end. Men run to and fro over the face of the earth. Knowledge is increasing.
Wow. Good night. Oh, my God. Okay, so trying to keep up. I can at least speak to the knowledge increasing thing. Okay. They try to make this argument all the time that like technology and everything is like the Bible like proved, or the technology like proves the Bible true because the Bible says that in the end knowledge will increase. But if you look at the actual context of the Bible, what the Bible's saying right then, it's talking about the sons and daughters will prophesy and all this type of stuff, and it's talking about the knowledge of the Holy Spirit will increase in the end days. That they're talking about men, they'll have dreams, there'll be stuff like that, like it'll be prophecy dreams, but everybody, like even women will prophesy, which is great. So like the knowledge of the Holy Spirit will increase. They weren't talking about technological advances. They try to sell that as like the Bible. It's a broken, I mean, if you took it out of its context, it's just a broken clock fallacy, right? Like it's broken clock is correct twice a day. If somebody gets something right It's not because they actually got it right. You can accidentally get things right, technically, right? But they didn't even actually accidentally get that right because the context is so obviously not talking about technological advances. Anyway,
we're here. So the mingling of the seed, who are they? Their seed will mingle with the seed of men, but they will not cleave to them. Who are they? They are not mankind, it's not men. So who's left? Genesis 3:15, the fallen angels. What's going on? They're cleaving to the women. They're not cleaving to the women.
Wow, this guy's like thought process is fascinating. He's just rifling through all of this stuff that he's like, in his mind, all of this stuff makes sense, that all of these things are connected, that all of this leads to the conclusions that he thinks he's following from. It's wow. It's just fascinating to hear him kind of go off like this.
But they're taking the seed of the woman. They're mixing the seed. They're mixing that seed. So you've got human women, fallen angels doing the unthinkable once again.
If you want to do the unthinkable, go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley. Check out, get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Just go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley. If you want to support us, you can support the show by supporting our sponsor, adamandeve.com, and entering that code word Brentley. Or you can support us by heading to our Patreon. You go to patreon.com/punkapostate. We got a bunch of new stuff heading up there all the time. And yeah, it's great. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. But if you want to just do a one-time payment, that's cool. I get it. Like, you don't want stuff coming out of your account and all that. You can just go to Cash App. Our cash tag is punkapostate. If you want to become a member, right? That's probably the best bang for your buck lately, because we got new content coming out every single week, sometimes twice, if I end up doing a video and a live stream, right? But it's at least a video or a live stream extra for members every week, right? So become a member. It's a lot of fun. And the live streams are a lot more interactive. I can get to more comments, right? Because as you can see, I kind of have to, it's hard to, there's like, 200 some comments. It's hard to get to all of them. So I could spend a little bit more time with each comment. And so it's a lot more fun, I think, for everybody. But yeah, go become a member, hit that join button. If you want to email me, you can email me at punkapostate@gmail.com. Emilio, if you want to do a full kind of email there, I will respond to that. You can also join our Discord, though, if you want to interact there, although I don't think we do any debate kind of stuff in the Discord. I don't know if I have a debate section now that I think about it. But you can follow me on all this stuff. I got all of my social media links will be in the video, or in the description. It takes me a minute to get them in there sometimes, but it will be in there eventually. If it's not in this video, check out the last one. They're all in there. It's in one of them. Right. So thank y'all so much for hanging out. Sorry, this is kind of abrupt. I just got a little bit behind today, so I have to cut it slightly short. But we'll be back tomorrow with the members only live stream. And so yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. You should become a member, and then you can make it for tomorrow's live stream. I got something really crazy planned, so you're gonna love it. It's gonna be fun. I swear it's gonna be great. So but the main thing though is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate, and we'll see you next time.